Hi, I'm Debra Band. Let me tell you a little bit about how we'll work together to create your unique custom ketubah. My process. Here I am sitting at my work table, working on an illuminated painting for one of my current book projects. I had this table made for me about 25 years ago, and it's been the birthplace for all my books and several hundred ketubot. Let's start with timing. Contacting me 6 to 9 months before your wedding date is perfect. This will give us plenty of time to work together without any kind of a rush, and I like to ship ketubot to their couples no less than a month before the wedding. The ketubot should not be one of those last-minute details that makes everyone crazy over the last couple of weeks before the big day. Less time is often possible, depending upon my schedule, but the more the better. Incidentally, while I tell you about the process, I'm going to show you a few pictures of various stages of how this recent ketubah grew from blank paper. Anyhow, once you've decided you'd like to work together, we'll make a date for a video chat for the three of us to spend a couple of hours together. Evenings after work are just fine. We'll discuss your lives as individuals and as a couple, your relationship, families, and Jewish spirituality, your values, careers, hopes and plans, both as a new family and in the wider world. I'll ask you which of my ketubot that you've seen either on my website or in person particularly strike you, and what it is about them that catches your interest. And of course, we'll talk about ketubah texts and your rabbi's requirements, if any. And incidentally, with all conservative and orthodox ketubot, where the text is crucial, I send a draft of the text to your rabbi for approval before I set to work with ink. I'll also ask you whether there are other images, symbols, or poetry that you need to see reflected in your ketubah. But basically, this will be a really freewheeling conversation, really probing who the two of you are and what, short of your alarm clock, gets you up in the morning. Incidentally, if you hear this chirping, this is my cockatiel Peaches, who has shared my studio for about the last 24 years. Anyhow, I will listen carefully to everything you say and listen for every nuance that you express. Please do come into this meeting completely open-minded with as few preconceived notions as possible. We'll have a really adventurous discussion. The very last question I'll ask you will be about your budget for the ketubah. I'll just need a do not exceed number from you before I set to work developing the sketch for the ketubah, so that I have a sense of the complexity and consequently the time necessary for creating it. After this initial conversation, I'll take a couple of weeks to develop this sketch for your ketubah, reflecting, I hope, the essence of your personality as a couple. My husband, who's a psychiatrist, swears that I must practice alchemy in constructing this portrait. Unless we're getting back together again in person in my studio, if you're in the DC area, I'll send you a scan of the sketch along with a long letter laying out every detail of the pencil drawing, which will enable you to imagine every detail. Then we'll get back together again by video chat to go over the design with a fine-tooth comb, make any necessary tweaks and adjustments to make sure that you feel that the design really reflects you. Once we've agreed on everything and the design is clear, we'll sign my very simple contract. I'll ask for a deposit of 50%, and I go to work. I'll send the ketubah to you about a month before the wedding. It will be safely enclosed in the display envelope that I'll make for it, with a solid color matte board backing and a clear acetate cover. I'll send you the fade-proof archival pen that absolutely should be used for signing the ketubah, along with a couple of copies of the descriptive blurb that I'll write explaining its imagery and decorative texts. The ketubah will be professionally packed like a tank. I want it perfectly safe while in UPS or FedEx's hands. And of course, I'll send you the tracking number. And do me a favor, send me a picture of the two of you with your ketubah. I'll look forward to hearing from you, and Mazal Tov.